And then we all hid ourselves. Then all came back one by one, going, "What the fuck are you doing?" I don't know. I don't know how you started. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Right.
We got to be quiet. Have we got to be quiet?
No, we just talk through it. We do like behind, in front, over the curtain.
Over the curtain.
And then we all hit.
Rapist.
Hey, have you seen?
You got new curtains, look. What'd you do with the
they can't see that.
old ones?
The old ones fell apart. They were
And
just
someone stole your
so-
drawers.
Yeah. Yeah, and my drawers are in the other room now. Yeah. They're emptied.
So from a legal standpoint, we are live on air now.
Ooh.
You better be
Don't
saying
swear.
cunt and things.
Yeah.
Fuckity, cunt.
Told you, they're all liars. Every one of
Just
them.
wait for someone to prove that.
We know it's true.
Right.
Prove we're live.
Yay. Right, okay, let's roll. Let's just get on with it. Let's roll the intro.
Acknowledged very early there.
Can anybody tell me what the fuck is going on?
Have we started?
Oh,
So yeah, so you're just chilling, but actually the intro's playing for the
Wow, this is like. Yeah, oh, I missed that.
Oh, they can see us
And
though.
we are live.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to the Ideal Ohm Show, episode 200. 200. 4 years in the making. Episode 200. Unbelievable. We've got a lot of hosts tonight. We've got from back in the day, Gary. Way back when, Gary.
Yeah, your previous employer.
Yeah. With, and this will come as a disappointment to those that haven't noticed, new curtains. Look at those, they're really nice. It's wrong, isn't it? Why couldn't you get a green screen just
I need
tonight?
the chat now to see all the abuse and shit that I'm getting. Oh god, that's weird.
Trevor Larkin, holy shit, the curtains.
And we didn't even get a suit made out of the old ones.
I was going to tell you, Mrs. John was going to make a shirt for you.
I know, yeah.
Oh my god, think of the things that are in that curtain.
What's been wiped on them?
So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's here. We've also got Rick from modmaker.co.uk.
Hello, I'm back.
He's back. And we have also got James from Apparel.
Good evening.
He's there.
Well, am I there?
No, he's not.
Well,
He's down below me under.
it doesn't matter what you can
Gary.
see, pal. It doesn't matter. It's purely what's on my screen that actually that people can see, I think.
Is it?
I bloody hope so.
Well, I'm to your left.
If you look at it on YouTube, you are there.
Really?
Stop moving about, Craig.
No, you can bollocks. I'm gonna go to the kitchen and go and make a cup of tea and shit and everything else.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, put
Where's
it
your
on.
tea? You need your tea, Craig. Where's your tea?
I had it earlier. I had pizza.
Oh, you've
But
had it already?
What?
Yeah.
Hang on. That's a big feature later on. What you've had for
Oh,
tea.
yeah. Tell us
Whoa,
later.
whoa.
Shit.
James from the Peril in the house, looking very well indeed. On the other hand, John is here as well.
Fuck you.
Looking pasty.
Healthy.
Well, I mean, like we've talked about it off air. What he lives a long way away. Just yeah. And we've also got Brad, formerly of Phobic Mods,
The only South
regular
African in the UK.
host.
My insurance broker. Don't take the piss.
So there's six of us to start with, but that is just the beginning because after we've stopped talking about food, we will get on some more guests. We've got some guests. Is it widely known who's coming on?
Yeah. Widely known.
So we think these things are variable, but we think we've got Matt from Suck My Mod coming on.
Not my pod.
Suck My Jewel. He's coming on to hopefully talk a bit about the vape rally that they had in Washington DC, and just the general outlook in America. It's a shifting playing field at the moment, but it'd be really good to get his first-hand experience. And so he's coming on. We've got Big Tom, regular contributor to the Ideal Ohm Show over the years.
Medium,
coming on
so,
as well.
medium,
Yeah,
Tom.
medium
Medium
Tom
Tom.
from RedTube.
Healthy Tom. Sorry.
He's medium Tom now, isn't he? He's not big Tom anymore.
Yeah.
Medium. Who else have we got?
Good question. I think we have the legendary Scott Bonner popping in. as
Not that
well.
I get you 69 bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's gone from
God.
legendary YouTuber to legendary mod maker.
Yes, he has. Yes,
He is. He is
Moving
that.
down in the ranks.
Hot property. Hot property. I know it doesn't get lower than YouTuber, Brad. Who's climbing the ranks.
Speaking
friend.
from an ex-modder, it's downhill.
I will say we have missed two quite good jokes in chat about Craig's little parlour.
Go for it.
Somebody said it doesn't look like Mr. Bean's. Scotty Bogfoot said it doesn't look like Mr. Bean's flat anymore, which I quite liked.
Oh,
And then Dominic, sadly, his spelling let him down when he wrote what time's Craig's career getting there. I don't know. What time's your career getting there? I thought you'd already got one.
Yeah.
Have another one.
I think, is it a carer?
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah.
But you definitely put career.
that's brutal. That's brutal, John. You shouldn't have picked him up.
I just thought it was funny. It was
Language
just
is
a bit.
purely a tool in which for us to understand.
Career
each
making.
other.
Don't you stop.
I don't find that funny, slagging off my mate Gary like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who else have we got on, John?
It's you six, and then
And then those guys.
Bonner, the Matt,
Perfect.
and medium Tom.
Cool. Very good. So, I don't know how this is going to pan out. I don't think we should dwell too much, but we should go. We should go round. We should go round.
I think you're going to have to call it because you can see it's just going to be like
Yeah, going round doesn't work from my screen.
Right. Finally, let's finally find out what you've had for tea for the last 74 weeks, Craig. What have you had on a Thursday night for tea for the last 74 weeks, and what are you vaping?
I've had to change to Sainsbury's because now I'm a spastic.
What?
They don't let you in, M&S. I knew it.
Take it back.
No, I am. No,
You were fine with the word you used earlier that I'm not using.
No,
but you can't claim that one. You can have the one you used earlier on the
what?
page.
I'm a cripple.
There you go. You can have that.
Okay, I'll take that one. But don't get offended on my behalf.
I'm not offended on your behalf. I'm offended on other people's behalf.
You've never been offended.
So
really.
I don't go as far as that.
So I call me that, and other people get offended. I like it. That's good logic.
Yeah, no. One of them's whatever. Just
It doesn't matter anyway.
What do you have
Like
for
I
tea
give a
for the
shit.
last 74 weeks?
I've had Sainsbury's
So why? I don't understand. Is it wheelchair access?
because I can't carry my shopping home, so I can't go to M&S, and M&S don't deliver.
A rucksack. You can carry it on a rucksack. You can get your pie in a rucksack, can't you?
No, I've got physio for my shoulder that I'm going at the moment because I can't lift it up. So every time I go to physio, I do.
Could get one of those old lady trolleys.
I go like this when I do snow
Delivered.
angels.
Get it delivered.
So
Do delivery.
can't- No, Ocado haven't started doing deliveries.
Here, homeless.
No.
Here, homeless.
Ocado haven't done
They're going for
deliveries.
you.
Ocado only do
Oh,
deliveries.
Of M&S stuff.
Get Waitrose then.
No, that's way too posh.
Yeah, that's lame.
Oh, we've lost a South African.
Oh no, he'll be back.
Screen's gone bleak.
Craig, what did you have
yes.
for tea, for Christ's sake?
What did I have to eat? I had pizza today. That was it.
How big was it?
That big.
Oh yeah, yay big.
Yeah, big. Yeah, it was quite nice. I put extra cheese on top.
That's how
So-
Craig wanks off elephants, by the way. If anybody's
Yay! Put extra cheese on top.
Something like that.
No need.
Something like that with extra cheese on top.
They never wash their knobs, elephants.
Oh no! Oh God!
You do.
Oh, Jesus!
Take that back.
What am I vaping on? Very quickly, I'm vaping on. I got a Kennedy Vindicator 2100
Oh, good lad.
at Vape Expo. Yeah, like we Vindicator buddies.
I'm Vindy too.
I know. So I got one of them Expo with one of the constant contact switch things on as well, which is really good. So yeah, it's quite good. I haven't got a battery at the moment, but that was my one thing I bought at Vape Expo. And then other than that, I've got the Basium from somebody else who used to work here, with just a D Pro on top and some signature tips thing and some Cannoli B1.
Nice.
You can get it on Evolution Vaping right now for 20 odd quid.
What Cannoli B1?
No, this.
That's him.
Oh,
Basic.
right. Got
It's
you.
a good mod, isn't it? It's a good mod for the
I love
battery
it.
life.
Yeah, I love it. It's really,
I
really
love
good. So I've got that. The other thing that I'm vaping on a lot is I'm on the Hellfire Reaper with the Ubertute on it because John hates it.
How do you fucking hate it? Is it the Ubertube 2?
It's the Saver V1.
No, hold on a minute. This is. It won't show up on this. I'm sure it won't show up. Oh no! Hold on.
One of the many.
One of not many USA. Uber tank.
It doesn't say the number 2 on it. It's number 63 V1 there.
Oh, so it doesn't whistle. That was
So
the
it
whole
doesn't-
point of that. Thanks, Greg.
Yep. So they go. So yeah. So I've got one of John rolling his eyes. Yeah, that's about it really. So do I get to pick somebody next?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm picking James. I'm picking James because he's hiding out of the way. James, I'm
Everyone's
picking you.
moved around now because of Brad, so everything I said before, disregard.
Sorry.
Is it James? What are you vaping on, and what did you have for tea, mate?
Hello. Thanks, Craig.
Hello.
I am vaping on. I've got the 4 and 5. This I vape on that.
Nothing boring, James, about that. Nothing boring. It's quality stuff you vape on.
It's every week though. It's every week I vape on the same stuff. I vape the same juice in the same. I'm not vaping the same.
So do I. So do I.
But there's someone new every week.
On pistache.
Hey!
Lovely, lovely pistache. Isn't that good? I tell you what, that is the creamiest cannoli that comes to it ages nicely. It steeps really, really quickly. Really, really quickly. It's like a week and a half old, 2 weeks old, and it is.
It's not as sweet as cannoli B1 and mine and stuff, is it?
It's not. It doesn't wreck your coils either.
No. Okay. I don't think a cannoli's not dirty, but that's not dirty at all.
Filthy.
Absolute filth.
It is. It's nice. It's nice, and that's
Produced.
in the Lugos, and that's the Vita V2 and a whistle on top. And for my tea, I had chicken dinner winner. I was a winner. Chicken
tonight.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, I don't mind a chicken. It's been a long time since I had a chicken tonight. I once suggested to my wife that I had chicken tonight, and it didn't go well. It's not nice. It's not nice. It was advertising the telly and stuff, and it used to be a big thing in the 80s or 90s or whatever it was. It's a shit.
Did you have like a roast chicken dinner?
Yes, a roast chicken dinner.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
We'll call it chicken macabre.
That's what I had on Sunday night, and I got absolutely torched on Facebook.
I know that was at like 11 o'clock at night. You were eating a Sunday dinner.
Not just that, he was like he ram-raided fucking Aunt Bessie's pants. It was unbelievable. You got Aunt Bessie's potatoes, some burnt fucking Yorkshire pudding.
Do you want to know an amazing?
They weren't
thing?
Aunt Bessie's potatoes.
The Yorkshire puddings, they were a variation of that theme.
Yes.
Fair play, all my hands up. I like them like that though, because when the gravy gets in, softens it up.
Does when they're black as fuck. Like
no, they were just a tiny bit
slightly
tan. Just a
overcooked.
tiny bit tan.
Right,
And
sorry,
that softens
go
up
to
lovely.
Richard.
Hold on, John. You can't talk to anybody
The
about it.
potatoes, I had done myself.
Okay,
scratch.
I'll take it back. They were good then. They were good potatoes.
They were goose and everything.
Oh, lovely.
Goose
Fair,
fat.
take it back.
Goose potato. How do they work?
Goose fat is they're the ones that are tended to by a goose in the garden.
Not laid a potato.
But I'm not salty about that. Sorry, James. Carry on.
No, that's all. That's me done. Let's go to Brad. Brad, you vaping on? What you have for dinner? Lunch?
Also, you can't argue with that meat. Look at the quality of those legs in that picture. What a lovely bit of chicken that was.
I'll be honest with you. It did look like he made it at lunchtime and he kept it in the oven warm until you ate it. Didn't look
Yeah,
a
made
little bit like
it
that.
at 4 a.m.
Well,
was
I tell you
dry
what,
as fuck.
your gravy was on point.
The Wills,
Good
yeah,
gravy.
Bisto always do it like that.
Yeah.
How far did you throw it from till it hit the plate? Do you throw it from 2 or 3 feet, or was it like 6 foot? 'Cause if it was 6, well,
I'll be honest. The Queen cancelled on me, so
where did you get the
presentation went out the
gravy? Was
window.
definitely instant gravy.
it was not instant gravy. It wasn't instant gravy.
Oh, he put
It was
gravy browning in it.
It wasn't instant gravy.
Bronin.
Yeah, browning. Do you put
It
some
was-
browning in there?
It was pre-made gravy.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It wasn't instant gravy. It was real gravy. That
It's
I'd
pretty
warmed
instant
up.
if it's already fucking made, isn't
So
it,
you
Richard?
bought
It's not
gravy in
fucking
a
instant.
fucking...
2.5
That's more
minutes.
instant than instant. in a pot, it's even
It
more
was
instant.
legitimately proper gravy that I only warmed up,
Yeah. From the
and
super-
it was beautiful.
commonly referred to
I
as
strongly
instant
recommend,
gravy.
John, you go down that route
Fuck
of
you.
warming up someone else's gravy.
I'll warm your gravy, you dickhead.
Anyway, we'll leave it at that. We'll see what I have next Sunday.
Right,
I'm looking forward to
what's the
Probably
drawing
pot.
behind you, by the way?
Oh, that's my daughter drew a dinosaur on the
Once,
board.
3 weeks ago.
Oh,
He's got tall. That's about 4 or 5 foot high. That.
Yeah,
This is
a
as
repeat.
Africans, we have very tall blood.
this week on jokes we did last week.
this week, Don, this person hasn't been on your show or hasn't watched it for about 2 years.
I've never watched it. It's been going 4 years.
Get on with it.
Right, I'm vaping this doodad, the Unwell from Richard. Sorry, not Unwell. I say that every fucking
You
week.
will.
I like
The
it now.
You
though.
Well.
Unwell
I'm genuinely
sounds
going to
better.
fucking change this to Unwell. And I'm still vaping my EVL from the 2 Johns, which could do with a top up. I'm going to top it up with Cactus Jackie from Johnny Boy. And what did I have for tea? I had a broccoli mozzarella gnocchi.
Fine.
Fucking hell was that?
Fine.
Handmade.
No further questions, Your Honour. Next.
Handmade.
You're not vegan, are you?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well,
why
you
did I-
failed then.
God, what
No,
have
I'm
I
not
done?
fucking vegan.
South Africa, you're not allowed to be vegan in South Africa. You get
Okay.
fucking stoned.
It
Don't
would
have
explain why
vegetables
they
in
do
South
witchcraft.
Africa. They've only got wild animals,
You
haven't
get
they?
hunted.
They've got vegetables. What do you think?
No,
of
Carrots
you're a
have meat in them
vegetarian.
there.
What do you think a
But,
zebra is?
you can't have mozzarella if you're vegan.
No, you can't. It's
Or
cheese.
broccoli.
Oh, that's right. It's made from buffaloes, isn't it? I forgot about that.
It's made of bull's milk. isn't it?
Albino buffalo. Just
Bull's
smashed
milk.
up.
Albino buffalo balls.
Can't see the tigers going for that.
That's the saltiest stuff.
Come on,
Oh,
next.
God.
Oh, this is a great wreck. Good.
Pass it on, Brad.
Jad's
Rick, what are you vaping on? What did you have for dinner?
Me, I'm vaping on. I got a new mod a couple of weeks ago from a lovely man. I'm very fond of him. He's, if I was that way inclined, I'd snog him,
Ooh.
even though he's black.
He isn't a liar, is he?
Mike Dacus
There we
Yeah.
go.
Oh.
Look at that.
gave me a
I did see that piece of wood.
DNA 75 Skonka.
Your fucking salty comment nearly killed me, Rick.
He even sent me an atomizer, which
Oh,
I was
nice.
very grateful of, and I got a Haku Venner.
Fuck.
Hmm.
That's not
He
bad.
didn't get on with, so I traded him for 3 24mm cloudy atties.
Nice.
So I'm vaping on that with my black currant. Also on the usual, got the other Haku, the Cruiser, Chris Munner's bell cap,
Oh.
and I just on a. You know, I just took this on holiday and I haven't put it down since. I still like mechanical.
Yeah.
I
Can't beat it.
actually prefer a mechanical connection. This is beautiful and it works properly. It does, but it doesn't do anything that this doesn't.
Mm.
I'm
Been
just a mechanical guy. I like controlling my wattage with my coils. It's the way I am, and this doesn't ever break. So yeah, I'm vaping on that as well, and I've got the Vindy out tonight, the Vindicator, which I got at Expo, but that was in the summer. Well, no,
Last year.
beginning of the year.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, and I got that. What was new at the time? Was it this year? What was new at the time? The Goon 25.
Yeah.
On top of that,
Yeah.
and in that I am vaping on Jeffrey's Vintage Bakes, the trifle.
Oh.
And for dinner, I had a strange dinner. Tilly needs to lose 1 kilo of weight to get in a lower weight band. That's my daughter, Matilda, if you don't know. I know you guys know, just them out there. She needs to lose 1 kilo to get down a weight band in Taekwondo for next week because they're going to the British Opens.
Oh, okay.
Open to compete, and she wants to get down a weight band. So we've been eating vegetarian. She's vegetarian now, Matilda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lots of people are.
So we had a bit of
how's she doing?
Is she dodgy?
She's going to be in there.
I want to say dodgy, but we had a sausage casserole with some funny vegetarian sausages.
Oh God!
In sort of an onion gravy, which was nice. The onion gravy was good. And we had some. Annie made some bubble and squeak cakes. We had a couple of bubble and squeak cakes each, little ones, and some green beans, which were squeaky.
Oh, squeaky beans.
Squeaky beans, yeah. Some might say undercooked, but
I think
them if they're a little bit squeaky.
Yeah.
Go over, they go squeakies.
I don't like them squeaky.
Right, who's next? Me and then Richard, and then we're going to have to bring Mr. Cully on because he's got to pick his kid up.
John Martin.
That's my name, I think.
What did you have for lunch? I don't want to know about tea. Lunch.
Oh, okay.
It's always lunch for you.
Yeah.
What are you vaping on?
Okay.
I know.
vaping.
Satsuma, Quavers.
Yeah.
I'm vaping on
A
a
drifter
a billet box.
and half an apple.
I'm vaping on a billet box with a brand new thing in it for the Inikin gem coil. That's fine. Who's it from? Who's it from? I better get this right. From KRT, isn't it? KRV. I've gone mad. KRV sent me this to just test it and have a go with it. And it's got the Inikin gem coil in it. In that, I've got 50 milligram shaky apple tobacco. It's crazy because the gem coil is 1.6 and I've got it at 11 watts. Bang.
Oh, bad boy.
It's pretty good actually. I've only kind of had it for a day.
You need your cap on backwards for that.
Yeah.
I need a cap to begin with. I've got a Guardian,
pipe.
Guardian 3 with a Dvar 16 on the top, and that's got crack current in it. That's it. What do I have for lunch? It is disgusting. I feel no regret at all. I had crab stick sweet corn mayonnaise sandwich, and then
stick, not even crab.
No, and then
Jesus.
mayonnaise, not mayonnaise, sorry, and one satsuma and a handful of grapes. Richard, what are you vaping on?
No, hang on. Look, don't rush on. Yeah, I want to know more about crab sticks. Is there any crab in crab sticks?
No,
it's white,
never has been.
It's whitefish. That's what it is. It's whitefish.
Oh, it's fish then.
It is
Yeah,
fish.
but only this much fish. How much fish? This much fish.
8%.
Who puts them in sandwiches, you weirdo?
I like it. I don't know why, but I do.
Do you unroll them, or do you just put them in stick form?
No.
and then line them up like a
I
few
line them up, and then I actually go through this whole fancy like chopping things. They're really, really
Nothing
tiny
fancy about
pieces.
that.
And then
Oh, you
smash them up.
made it. Oh, I was going to say, you wouldn't be able to buy a sandwich like that.
You can. That's where I got it from.
Limerick.
No, in Phoenix they buy them, but I don't live in Phoenix anymore, so I have to make it.
Is that where you got it from? Did you go into a sandwich shop one day
Yeah.
and like, oh, crab stick and
sandwich.
sweet corn and mayonnaise?
that-
That sounds awesome. I'll have one of them.
That's what I did. That is exactly what I did.
And then you were like, oh, I want to make these myself.
I've really set them up.
What's the special today, Paolo?
Crab sticks has really got them going.
Peas, string and onion sandwich.
Richard, we have to go to you because Cully's got to pick his kid up. So go.
Sorry, Matt.
San Miguel.
Matthew.
San
Sorry, that sounded
Miguel.
like a welcome. Sam Miguel.
IPV, Mini V3, Pistache, etc. What's next?
Matt Cully, then. Hold on.
Let him in.
We'll talk.
Get him in. We haven't seen Matt for a while.
I know, I haven't seen Matt for ages. He didn't come to Expo.
He did, didn't he?
He did.
Did he?
I think he did. I think he did.
Did he?
Anyway, he's going to come in now because I just told him to.
Because Grim Green kind of stole his thunder a little bit, didn't he?
He
Nick
does
I
normally
didn't see
does
that, man. He's coming on the show, and Grim Green's not coming on the show. I don't see that.
We didn't ask him.
Grim Green can't steal Matt's thunder.
Matt's got all
That's
the
true.
thunder. He lives in Colorado. Loads of thunder there.
He piggybacked him from the early days, anyway, didn't he? So
Yeah, that's
you
true.
can't bite the hand that feeds you.
Oh, he's got the link. But he hasn't read it. Crab sticks.
I'll tell you what I found as well, actually, is while you're on the subject of strange sandwiches, I find those tomato and mozzarella crispy pancakes in sandwiches are really good as well.
Crispy can you? No, you only get minced beef crispy
got
pancakes, don't you?
Now you can get cheese and
Yeah,
tomato.
when I
on
was
top.
little.
You get cheese and bacon as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are these
But
the
they're really
things-
good in sandwiches.
Oh, look, it's
Hey!
Suck my dog.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
All right, mate, you.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
Have you
We're
had, you've had a fun week or two, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been wild. It's quite eventful.
Do you want to give us a rundown of? Anyway, thank you for coming on the show, Matt. We do love.
Yeah, thanks
always
for having me.
having you.
Also, congrat 200. Is that what you said?
200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed you guys would get past like 30 or 40.
Correct.
I was surprised we got past.
I know you guys are all hotheads and very stubborn. So
Surprised we didn't get banned off YouTube, to be honest.
yeah, true.
How was?
I mean, we say cunt as often as we can. It never gets banned. So
we get less adverts. We say.
John once said spastic.
I didn't say it.
No, before you, Craig, before you. He was all accusing of viewers. Like, he says it all the time. I don't want to jump in and say it, but he says it all the time.
It's true.
Well, knock on wood. You don't want to jinx yourselves.
So, anyway,
But anyway, congratulations on 200. That's awesome.
thanks, man.
Cheers, mate.
What kind of? I don't know. From an American perspective, you was it last week? You went to Washington and you protested the proposed vaping bans. How did it go for you? What your perspective?
It looked amazing from the outside in.
Yeah, I thought it went well. Just a backstory. I mean, like 2 months ago, basically, Trump said he was going to ban flavors here. And we've been fighting against it, ever since. And it looked like we were like screwed a week and a half ago, and it was going to happen. And then towards the middle to end of last week, he kind of started softening up with his language, and his cabinet was doing the same, and then it was perfect timing. We had already had this rally planned, and it was just perfect timing for what was going on. So yeah, Saturday we had the rally. There was, I think the best estimate was about 3,000 to 4,000 people.
Wow,
Had a lot of different speakers and stuff, and then. Like Trump's first tweet on Monday was about vaping. So
I was going to say to you, is that what prompted him to say he would look into it? So
because like on Friday he said we have a plan. We need. He was starting to soften with what he was saying. He said we have a plan. We need to look out for kids, but we also need to be concerned about the jobs, and there's not all about vaping was bad. Basically, is what he was saying.
It's
But it
so
sounded
funny,
like-
isn't it? Because it seems like for all the talk of health and health benefits all these years, it seemed like the talk of jobs was more effective.
That's what with him, yeah, for sure. But it sounded like even on Friday, like he already had a set plan. But then come Monday, he tweets saying he's going to meet with vaping industry folks and doctors and stuff like that. So I mean, maybe it'll be even softer. I don't know, but
Him flip-flopping on policy is kind of sticking to his type, though.
yeah, it's annoying with other things, but it was good with this situation, obviously.
I'm just
100%
hoping.
agreed.
I'm just hoping that the doctor that he doesn't meet with is the Surgeon General. Who just
hopefully they're not
turns out to be
the paid off doctors.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like we're out of the woods or anything here. I don't want to like give off too much optimism, but things are definitely looking better than they were a couple weeks ago. And obviously, we still have shit that's bad that's happening in multiple states right now.
Yeah.
So was it well received, Matt? Was it well received by the media? Did it get a lot of positive coverage or?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of coverage. Some of them scoffed at it a little bit, but I mean, the bottom line is we were heard and people talked about it. It was on like the NBC nightly news like multiple nights in a row. It was on Vice did an article, Rolling Stone did an article, Washington Post talked about it, CNBC, local news there in DC. So it definitely had quite a bit of coverage.
Brilliant.
And you got to be hopeful. I mean, I'm always hopeful that common sense will win out in the end. Do you think that's? It can't get much worse than it is currently, or how it's looking currently, can it?
That's the one bright side. Like, there's a silver lining here to the fact that we had these long illnesses, and everybody started going after it and wanting to ban everything. Is that it put us in the spotlight? And everyone was starting to look at it a little bit closer. And then we started to have some contrarians come out of the woodwork that are like, whoa, guys, maybe you're going a little too far. There were some good articles that talks about the UK and how you guys deal with vaping compared to how we do. And so it kind of forced a lot of people to look closer at the subject that didn't really give a shit before. And we're starting to have, more and more powerful names come to our defense. So that's one good side to all this stuff.
I'm guessing the other thing that happened is as well that it actually, because the problem with advocates for a long time was that everybody was doing their own particular strand of advocating for vaping, whereas this appeared and then everybody just focused exactly on the one point. Rather than
it's definitely caused more unity in the community for sure.
Yeah. What's the absolute situation right now? As in, do we know when the meeting is going to be with Trump and people?
I heard there might be some meetings going down this week. I mean, when we'll hear an announcement, I have no clue.
Because it's literally like election season almost. We're pretty close to the election.
I mean, Trump's election is going to be next year, but yeah, they're already starting to campaign and stuff.
Is it, Matt? Is it strange for you because you've been over to the UK quite a few times now, and I know weirdly there's misconceptions in the US about how it is in the UK too. We do. We know where we are more than you do, but there's a misconception that I see with some of my American friends where people are saying it's like this in the UK, and I'll say it isn't, and they'll say something like, "Oh, the politicians really like vaping," and you go, "No, they don't. They ignore it. That's not the same thing."
Yeah, I think we tend to oversimplify it a little bit here.
I wouldn't say from your side, Matt, because we've discussed. I've spoken on your threads on Facebook before, and I've spoken to you for about 3 or 4 years now. But there is we've got small island complex. Weirdly, you have large island complex where people will say, "There's vaping shops in hospitals," and you go, "There's 2, and they're shit." That doesn't count as a
well,
thing.
I mean, you got to understand too. Like, some people are like just oversimplify and they think it's like just this utopia in the UK. But also sometimes we use you guys as a talking point when arguing. So yeah, like I know that there's only 2 vape shops, but I'll fucking use that as an argument.
Do that.
Yeah. And I've noticed one of the things that is constantly bandied around, which is fine, is the 95% safer.
Yeah.
Our point is, and the other thing we've got this. I've had quite a few American vapors have said to me, "We've had X amount of deaths in the US, but how many have you had in the UK?" And you go, "Oh, none." And then it's a light bulb moment where they go, "You've had none. How many vapors are there?" And you go, 3.5 million, conservatively speaking. And how many is there? 0. That's not possible.
Well, I mean, they've had none in America as well.
No, exactly. You've had none too, but it's more apparent here because we can go, fuck off. Literally none.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know you guys still have like some opposition there, and your media hasn't always been super kind to vaping as well. And I know the TPD is not perfect either. I mean, there's some stupid shit in that. So you guys still have ongoing battles there as well.
I
mean-
noticed that Massachusetts have pulled some pieces of paper out of the TPD or the TPDR in their new, when they're talking about this new regulation, but obviously the tremendous taxation that, well, looks set to, if the paper passes, it looks set to hit Massachusetts. But they're talking about 20 milligram limits as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they bring that up, but then they also want to ban flavors and they want to tax the shit out of it and all that. And so, you know, I think there's a lot of people in the States that would be fine with a compromise of a NIC cap. But, you know, not with all the other stuff on top of it.
It's like, we can work. Well, as you know, because you were there and here at the same time, but we kind of worked around it, really. As much as we could with the short fill system, which you could do, but you can't deal with a 60% wholesale tax. It's impossible.
That would kill it. I mean, taxation, as I can see, is a good thing because
a lot of people have said that. To be fair, a lot of people in Massachusetts have
yeah.
said exactly the same thing. We'll take a taxation. What we won't take is 60%.
I still don't think we all become complacent with taxation, though. I mean, how can they justify a taxation on something? Why should they be able to tax something?
Well, I mean, it definitely can, it can safeguard you a little bit, but at the same time, in the US, where we have a problem is that you have different states that have different taxes, and then it's easy for people to go around that and just go buy online or something.
How will that work, Matt? If Trump comes down and says this is our official new stance on vaping, how does that affect all the states that have made their own rules already?
It doesn't affect those states a lot. Like, for example, you know, a state like Massachusetts or New Jersey can still ban flavors themselves. You know, you kind of hope, though, like federally, like when they kind of take a stance on it, like let's say they federally they ban flavored products in convenience stores, grocery stores, things like that, but then they allow flavors for online and for vape shops. You know, that might influence some of the states to say, yeah, maybe we should treat these as two different categories as well, even though it's still not ideal, but it's better than a full flavor ban.
We were speaking about this on the show last week because we do follow the US as well, because everything that happens there affects here. I know we affect you in a minor way. And one of the things that, and I mean this in an ideal world point of view, if the federal law changed and the convenience stores couldn't sell vape gear anymore, then I was wondering why all the vape shops didn't get together and just nail Juul and nail Blue and just say, well, fair enough, we're not selling their pod shit anymore.
Yeah, I mean, businesses, aren't they, on their own? They're not going to unify for that.
There's nothing setting them up their own shops anyway, is there?
We've definitely seen more and more pull things like Juul out of their vape shops. I mean, and Juul hasn't really supported the vape shops for quite a while.
No.
And so, you know, I think that there's still a place in the market for, you know, a pre-filled product. You know, and I'm against not being able to buy a vape where you could buy a cigarette, but obviously we're going to have some compromises here. So they might still allow things like Juul and Blue in the gas stations. Well, they will, but you know, like Juul just pulled their mint. They're only going to be selling menthol and tobacco. in the gas
we predicted that. We predicted it last week that they were going to do exactly that. Pull them in. Yeah.
And I think that was kind of another thing that maybe caused Trump to soften a little bit, is that, you know, the survey data came out, you know, a massive portion of the youth that are vaping were using Juul's mint, and then Juul pulled the mint so they can at least point to that and say, hey, we got to win here. But I mean, as we've seen, it's like the teens just go to whatever flavors left. So mint got popular because Juul pulled their mango and all that other shit out of the stores.
From one of my friends is a teacher in Bahrain, weirdly, and Juul are quite big out there. And that the biggest issue he has is that you can hide it anywhere, whereas you can't hide that in your bra. He works in a high school, by the way, and he doesn't wear a bra. But the girls in his class,
he might do in private.
He might do. I haven't asked him.
But we don't judge.
No, but the difficulty with the Juul, it's so small that it gets hidden, and he totally refuses. That it doesn't want to go down a police state thing where you're patting down students because it's so totally ridiculous.
I'm up for that.
I'd be all right. I'd be quiet for that.
Yeah, that's the problem is, you know, a lot of things that's attractive to teens about the Juul, adults also like Vanessa started, you know, Vanessa was using like 3 milligram sub-ohm tank, stuff like that a few years ago, but then she wanted something small and stealthy for work. And then she started using the Juul, but then she got hooked on it and now is having a hard time getting off of it. You know?
She works in a hospital, doesn't she, Vanessa?
Yeah.
So you need something that can stick in your pocket, not like a big mod.
Yeah, exactly.
I did see a really strange tweet today. I don't know if it was Dimitri or somebody, but they were saying that actually the kids didn't like, you know, the bigger devices, where they were saying actually the bigger devices might get past the legislation because of the fact that they were bigger. So it might actually be that the whole thing backfires on Juul to some degree anyway, because they say, well, these big things, they're actually, the politicians
they're not the problem in a way.
These are not the problem. So let them do the open devices.
That's a positive. That's definitely a positive, isn't it?
Yeah, and like some government officials have brought that up already as well. How, you know, it's the open tank systems and stuff, like the mods are not what the teens are using, and so, you know, some have called for banning all the, you know, what they call the cartridge-based systems until they get through the PMTA process and stuff. So
that's just like almost like the reverse of the TPD stuff that we've got over here, where they wanted people not to use big tanks and stuff like that, and wanted, you know, move this towards
like the pre-filled stuff. Like, well, that's what we thought a couple of years ago, is that, well, and we still don't know because we still have the PMTA stuff coming up next year, but there's lawsuits about that, and even the FDA's appealed a decision. They're trying to push it back. But, you know, we always thought that the pre-filled stuff like Juul would have the easiest time getting through the application process. But now, because of the teen use, it's a bigger threat to youth, is what they say. Yeah. And so those might have a harder time. There's just so much that's up in the air.
The higher strength as well, because the 50 mg Juuls, I mean, if a kid does get into that, I mean,
it's addictive.
It's almost a fair argument that
they are getting into it and putting junk in it, and vaping's getting the rap for it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's a little bit of a misconception. People will say they're putting other drugs in Juul pods, but there's really not any evidence of that.
Yeah.
Like in order to vape THC oil, it's so thick that you need special types of atomizers for it that have you know, like very, very porous ceramic wicking and stuff. I have heard that there's been some manufacturers like from China that have made counterfeit Juul pods that are made for THC, but I've never seen them. I've never seen a picture of it or anything.
When you first popped in, loads of people in chat said, "Well done on your speech at the rally."
Yes. Oh, thank you.
That must have been some experience. You know, I know it wasn't about personal goals and things like that. It was a big thing, but that must have been a bit of an amazing experience in a way.
A lot different from talking to a camera.
Yeah.
I knew I had to have my speech written out for that one, because if I was going to try to just ad lib it and go for it, I would probably end up sounding really dumb. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a blur now, because I was super nervous beforehand, and so the whole thing was kind of a blur. But yeah, it was a surreal experience, because where I was standing, you had the whole crowd in front of me, and then right behind them, you could see the White House, and there's literally snipers on top of the White House looking at you, and so it was pretty nerve wracking.
Come out, look at this bloke, Jeff, through my scope. Look at that, nice hat, isn't it? Oh, finger off the trigger. I'll keep my finger off.
Yeah, it's great to see you've in the 4 years we've sort of known you since we started the show, Matt. It's great to see you being an ambassador, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Standing outside the White House.
Yeah.
As an ambassador.
You are the most normal American we know.
I can see a strange
straight down the middle. You know, you just
didn't even have a Motorhead denim jacket on. It was great to see.
I love you Brits too, especially Scott. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
Mr.
Can you hear
Bonner,
us?
a legend.
I can't see anything.
Can't
We can see you.
We can see you, Mr. Bonner.
Yeah, we can see you on the YouTubes as
Oh,
well.
right, hold up. Oh, right, that's it, yeah. Thanks now.
That's the problem. If you don't eat meat, Bonnet, it fucks your eyes up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scott's vegan.
He's vegetarian.
I'd
vegetarian.
like to be vegan, but I just don't think it'll be possible.
Yeah, it'd be
I'm a
difficult.
vegetarian that hates vegetables, so my diet is cheap. So.
Just imagine if chicken wasn't a vegetable, how much worse it'd be. Ugh,
Or
horrible.
bacon.
Thank goodness for chickens.
How you doing, Scott? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, very well. Very well.
Congratulations on the 200th show.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Amazing.
So it's been a hard.
And you were on the show from quite an early time as well, weren't you, Scott? I mean, both you and Matt were on in the early days.
Yeah.
Within a dozen shows, I'd say, probably, was it?
Something like that.
I can't. Do you know what? I think we were the first live show you ever went on, weren't we, Scott?
No, you wasn't actually.
Oh, fuck you, man. Oh, did you go on Plumes?
Who?
Plumes
Plumes.
the House.
Plumes.
No, Mark. Mark was first on Plumes, then on here second. And then-
Okay, well, who did you go on
Oh,
live before?
Plumes. No, I've not been on Plumes. No,
Oh.
it was no, Gabby Dibley. Used to
Yeah, I was going to say it was Dibley.
Oh, Vapor Trails. Vapor
Yeah,
Trails.
I think that was in about like 2010.
That's with our mate, what's his name, John?
Oh yeah, I do know. Yeah. I did, but I remember me and Dean negotiating with Scott prior to, because Dean the vaping biker sent me a message and he said, can you have a word with Scott Bonner? I'm just going to put you in a crew chat. Fuck off! I'm not talking to Scott Bonner. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we'll just have a chat with him and see if he'll do the show.
Ridiculous in a good way. Let's make that clear.
Ridiculous in a good way. I was terrified.
That wank, no?
Look at that Essex boy. In trouble, he'd probably fucking shoot me or something.
It was really weird having speaking to the bloke who made you quit smoking. But it's exactly the same as when we had Matt on the first time as well. It's the people you watched on YouTube and then you're suddenly talking to them. It's really weird.
It's been an amazing 4 years, really, isn't it? The people we got to know, like Matt, like Ruby, like Nick, and Scott.
Mark.
Yeah, included in there somewhere.
Blooms boys.
The
Yeah.
obvious question is, Matt, have you got your hands on a Scott Bonner mod yet?
I have not, but I need to.
That needs sorting out.
Scott's going like that. He's
Oh,
just
fuck it.
imagining.
Scott's
the
got
money.
it now.
What's he
He's
gonna
got to make
spend
another
on
one for
Christmas coming up?
I'm still nervous talking to Scott. He's a legend.
He is a legend. He is.
I've,
Was he one of the-
I've prepared a little like 4-year thing, a little walk down memory lane thing. Although I've just realised Matt and Scott, unless you watch on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see it because you don't have access to our thing. But it was really funny when I was going through because I was looking at reviewers and I was looking at videos they were doing 4 years ago. And so what I was doing is going to videos on YouTube. I was flipping it to oldest to newest, going down a bit. But with Scott's, they go back over 10 years. So I had to do it from newest and scroll down because there was just an absolute 6 years of crazy videos.
It's
So,
wild. I've done that
It looks
before.
like a
You go
child.
back, you go look at like Grim and Scott's oldest videos. It's nuts.
it's amazing. So I'll put this on screen, but so I don't know if you guys will see, but bear with us. So I've done a little 4 years ago today type thing. So this was Matt. Matt, do you remember what you were reviewing exactly 4 years ago today?
Let's see. It would have been end of 2015.
Yeah, 2015 November. It was
No
the
clue.
Relu DNA 200 by Wismec and Jay.
Oh wow. 4 years. Jesus.
Yeah, you were going through a very close to camera phase as well.
Trying to show my beautiful face off.
Hey, it worked. It totally worked. Totally worked. Yes, that was an iconic mod in the end, really, wasn't it? I mean,
Definitely.
like, how many different
sure.
relus did they do? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
It was the first mod to stick a couple of batches and made a triangle shape out of a mainstream mod, wasn't it?
It was
nearly.
so obvious, but first to do it.
Yeah, I mean, how many watts does that go? That's always a heavy hit.
200, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Here was me 4 years ago, I was doing the Billow V2.
Billow.
The Billow V2, yeah, it was EH Pro, was it? I think it was a
Yeah.
cloudy RTA.
I can also remember about this time 4 years ago, Matt and V were throwing one of the dog mods in a bin in Las Vegas because it caught fire.
Yeah, it was a lipo.
Oh yeah, I saw him at the rally.
Yeah, Nick was there when
Nick, yeah.
Yeah, still got a dog mod somewhere. So yeah,
That was scary. We were walking out in Vegas and the thing started smoking.
It's a big lipo, 9,000 more lipo.
Oh, man, that'd go.
Vanessa just like tossed it.
Yeah, what would you? That's all you can do. So who else we got? Oh, news in the news from 4 years ago. In the UK, we had it was literally at the point that Public Health made their official verdict in a way.
Okay.
4 years ago, it was vaping e-cigarettes safer than smoking, says Public Health England. That was sort of doing the rounds around this time 4 years ago, which was obviously positive and has gone on to be confirmed. In America, though, it was still in that broken record phase, really. The headline in America at the time was
Trump will never be president.
Vaping by US high schoolers has increased by 900%. Was the headline? The headlines in America at the time. Probably true, isn't it? Because if you go from one guy that has a novel behind
people, yeah.
Brilliant. Look at all
And the
those kids
headline
who
hasn't-
smoked who vaped instead. It's great.
And the headline hasn't changed much in 4 years.
No,
either.
it's funny. I looked at a few headlines, and they were all the classics. Epidemic and etc. Do you remember what you were reviewing, Scott?
I was going to say, 4 years ago, Scott was the biggest reviewer in the UK.
Oh, by miles. And he was reviewing.
He had Todd and Dean nipping at his heels.
He was
About
reviewing.
a year later, really. Wasn't
the OBS Creus.
Oh, that's a good hattie.
Yeah, you were a big fan of that, Rick.
Oh, I was
you created the Creus scale for flavour.
I did do the career scale.
Do you remember that one, Scott?
Yes.
No, I can't remember. I can't remember what I've done yesterday, let alone 4 years ago.
Scott was touting the Clito back then a lot.
Oh,
And I was too. I liked the Clito. I moved on to the Clito from the Creus.
They're still making the coils, so I mean, think of an atomizer where they're still making the coils. There's not
I got the rebuildable deck for mine, but
we also need to do Mark Todd. Obviously, we need to see what he was doing back then. He can't be with us tonight because he's on an aeroplane.
he's eating Frank. He's gone to eat some German sausage.
He's still.
Meat fingers.
If I remember correctly, he's still building the atomizer he was building 4 years ago. So hopefully he's going to.
He's still trying to work out how to do spaced coils, isn't he?
So he was on the G-Prov Squonker mod. 2nd of November.
George
2015.
Propertidis. I remember George.
And it was funny, actually. I actually little flick through the video. I've got another picture here. Thank God you came along with your squonk bottles, Rick. Because squonk bottles have certainly improved since 2015.
Yeah, they were stiff. They were stiff.
Those were horrible.
Yeah, they were called Super Soft, and I'm sure that was an ironic.
That's before Super Soft. They were stiff.
Yeah.
Super Soft were quite soft, but mine was slightly softer.
And this is the mod, if people are wondering what that mod was. It was a beautiful, beautiful squonker of its day. But yeah, so that's what everyone was up to 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Obviously, was that pre-Trump? No, he must be. He must.
Yeah, pre-Trump.
Yeah, that was pre-Trump.
Yeah.
That was it's kind of like nostalgic looking back. You get a little sad. The good old days. At least being in the US, it's like before we had a lot of the major stresses. It was just about vaping.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I mean, from a modding-
That was pre-TPD for us as well. So it's still, we are still.
Halcyon days.
But from
Yeah,
a modding
it is the halcyon
standpoint
days.
and a juice standpoint, 4 years ago, America was leading the way in vaping.
Definitely reduces. Yeah,
But then, you've been so restricted. I do believe, certainly with modding and everything, it's the UK and Europe has really come to the forefront in it all now.
Yeah.
Mark Todd's in chat.
You've been stifled, big time.
I was going. I don't know if you found the same thing, because I don't know if you do them in the. Do you do like conventions and meets in the US? Because I don't know if you've ever seen you post from one.
Yeah, we still
like mini meets. You mean?
Like no. I mean like expos and jams like we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as many as there used to be, but there's
That
still
was-
usually an ECC once a year.
Right.
Well, no, I think they might do a second one sometimes. And then there's the NVE, National Vape Expo. There used to be like 3-4 years ago. There was a ton. There was
That's
like
what I mean. Yeah.
Every
a
week,
couple
weren't
every
they, over
month.
there?
Yeah.
Almost.
It was oversaturated in a way, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
there
also-
was too many probably back then.
The
Yeah, 'cause you
clientele
got-
has definitely changed in the UK, where it used to be vapors, where it's very businessy.
Yeah, and it's
2020 is going to be
the
really busy.
hobbyist side has slowed down a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, and a lot of it is because of the Juul and pods and stuff like that. And so that part of the community has definitely shrunk a little bit, or at least not grown. You know, like
It
'cause
shrunk a lot. No,
we
you're
have
right,
you know
yeah.
a record amount of vapors here, but like so many are Juul users that probably have no idea what's even going on with vape laws
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I think the people changed an awful lot because back in those days it was like it was Mooch and Freeze doing like Vapor Slam and
Yeah, they
all
used
those
to
kind of things, and and Vapor Joe was doing the rounds and all those kind of people.
It's funny. We held a little vape meet. The Ideal Ohm Show did a little vape meet. A couple of 100 people. And I saw Nick just after that saying that that'll probably be the way forward. You know, smaller, more condensed vape meets, more localized. But a really good time in a smaller.
But it was a true
setting.
vape meet, wasn't it? I mean, the expos and the jams are a business.
Yeah, I honestly think ours was weirdly for our section of vaping. Ours was the best one this year. I thought you were going to say it was.
It was, yeah, easily.
Well, and that's how they started out in the States. You know, when vaping first got popular here, it was just like an underground thing that there were no vape shops then. It was just like forums and people buying shit from like Chinese websites and stuff.
Yeah, ECC
and,
did one, didn't they?
And so they'd have like, you know, the Grim has some videos of some of those really early, like VaporCon, I think was one or something where, they had a few hundred people and it was more of a meet. It wasn't all corporate and stuff.
No.
Yep.
I know. I remember being with the first time I saw Mr. Bonner was calling the raffle at Vape Fest in a marquee behind a pub, and there was loads of people walking around with mods around their neck on lanyards, but they were like the size of a radio, like a ham radio. You know one of these? No, I fucking don't. Look at that. Fuck me. Yeah, I was too scared to talk to him. Scott's fucking massive. That's the one thing nobody tells you.
The gentle giant.
I know, but when you're a little dip like I am, and I walked into there, I was like, yeah, I really want to meet Scott. Fucking hell, I don't.
I just remember watching Scott's videos back in the day, and he'd make shit look so goddamn easy.
Yeah.
And you're like trying to like weld wires together and shit. What was some of those old RTAs from like the Greek ones?
Yeah, Golden Greek.
Yeah. What was it called?
Odysseus.
Yes, the Odysseus. And I would just get so fucking frustrated, and Scott just made it look so goddamn simple and pretty.
I hated it with the Genesis.
But
when he come-
I still think to this day, Scott's videos, the production is the second to none in vaping.
Oh, for sure.
Like Scott would
quality,
wicker Jenny, put some strands of wire around it, and it'd like slightly be hot, one hot spot, and he'd kind of go, and then get there we go, and then it's sorted. Right, here we go. Fuck off! It's like an hour and a half. Going, fucking go.
So I guess the question is, was it really that easy for him, or did he just do that to make us all feel stupid?
Yeah, is that just editing, Scott?
Yeah, fancy editing,
We all fell for it. Absolutely. I know Scott was one of the first person I ever spoke to in vaping, actually. I sent him a message about something. Is this Atmi's really good? Yes, fine, buy it. All right then. That was on Twitter.
How's the mod making going, Scott? Loving it?
Yeah, I do really enjoy it. Yeah, I've always liked working with my hands, and it's just a very enjoyable experience for me, really, at the moment.
I did enjoy it was a one-off. I did really enjoy the Jay Hayes video of your mod, which I wasn't expecting at all. Somebody sent it to me, and I was like, "Fucking hell!"
Yeah, I was surprised as well, to be honest. Yeah, no, it's very nice.
I saw him on a live show, quite a while back now. Literally just flicking through your Facebook page, just going, wow.
Yeah.
I assume you've got quite the order book at the moment.
I have, yeah.
As soon as I thought that's Scott's Christmas fucked.
Yeah.
What's the current model that you're mainly doing?
The Cali is probably either like the Cali or the squonker version of it. That seems to be the most popular at the moment.
I've got one of those that's in the other room at the moment. Not the Cali, but
I have a Cali.
All right, guys, I got to get out of here because I got to go get my son from school. Congratulations on the 200. Thanks so much for having me on.
Keep it going over there.
Take care, Matt.
yeah, nice to
awesome.
see you again, Matt.
I miss all you guys. I need to come to the next expo.
Yeah, definitely.
See you, mate.
there.
We'll
All right, guys, have a good one.
Love to Vanessa.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm getting in a minute as well. Because I'm a cripple. Because I'm a cripple.
No, you can't go, Gary. Like an angel's here. You can't go.
No, I've got to go to bed.
No,
because
you're not that old.
I'm up at 5:30 every morning now, so it's kind of.
Oh, you just get up a bit later tomorrow, can't you? It's all right.
We need to. Well, I know a good question. Is I Get to 69 ever coming back, Scott?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was just reading a comment there. Somebody saying about playing with wood. I've not officially stopped, but I just needed that break from it. To be honest,
yeah, totally.
I've done it for like almost 11 years, and by the end of it, because I think it didn't help, there wasn't a lot of new things coming out. That was really sort of groundbreaking. Obviously, when I first started it, literally every other day there was something new happening, so it was really exciting. But after doing it for almost 11 years, it became more of a chore than a pleasure, and I found it really hard to sort of motivate myself to go and sit in front of the camera.
It's really, the adoration for you across vaping is so massive. I mean, it's the name that loads of people say. I know I'm not kissing up because so many long-term vapors. I mean, I've been vaping 7 years, and anybody who's been vaping as long as me, there's only one person. There was only one review. Well, there was a couple, but it had to be somebody who grabbed your attention. And for most people, it was you.
Yeah.
And every time, when you slowed down, when you'd slowed down a year or so ago, whenever one came up, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. I even put a clip of you doing your battery wrapping video at the end of the teaser for this show because it was so funny. Like, I just really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed it when you got that new studio set up as well.
Yeah. That's when it all went downhill, really, to be honest. When I thought it'd make things easier. But it was just like, it wasn't just that. It was just like a culmination of things that were happening and what have you. It just sort of made things more and more difficult, and then finding a motivation to sort of get on.
I think there was a moment then. I remember that period where you'd kind of got you'd got the traveller issue where it was just over and over and over again. I mean, it wasn't amusing.
Main problems because it's right on my doorstep, and so now it's there, and it just made things extremely difficult because of the way I was behaving. Let's put it like that, I'd still like to it's very hard for me to say, right, no, that's it, I've stopped. I feel because it was such a big part of my life, but I'd like to try and think of a way. I can't see me doing like reviews in the same way as what I did before, but I'd still like to upload some sort of content in like maybe a short form that can be done sort of fairly quick and easily, just to sort of, just keep things going.
Have you thought about doing some mod making stuff on there?
Sorry?
Have you thought about doing some mod making things on there?
Well, I have thought about it, but the people who subscribe to me, they subscribed because they wanted to watch a review. Well, I imagine that's why, anyway. So I think if I just suddenly change the whole content of the channel,
it used to be like that, Scott. But I think a lot of people who follow you
love to see the process. Yeah, would love to see
you stable, like, because you do it from start to finish. Would love to see the whole process in like 10 videos or whatever, or from getting the wood in to the finished product. You could do hours of that. I would love to watch that. I would love to watch that.
It's entirely your prerogative, and fuck what they'd want to watch.
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
Right, we do have one new product.
Like if I started getting a lot, load of abuse and what have you.
Turn comments off.
you were the king of abuse, like, because way before I was on YouTube, like at half of the point of watching a Bonner video was to scroll down at the comments, because it was like, I really think you should fix your teeth. I really think you should fuck off, you mug. Brilliant, we're on. Bonner's gone mad. Brilliant.
Maybe there'll be a little video opportunity in the future, Scott. I'm thinking of bringing out a sort of kit to get non-mod makers with less skill than yourself. A sort of kit that people can make up and make their own and get the mod making experience. Maybe if I do that.
I like the fact Bonner's going to nod along now, thinking, "Yeah, I'll do it, mate. If you pay me, I'll make a lovely video."
So what do you mean by like a kit with everything in it?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'm still thinking of. I think there's a whole market of people out there who want to go in their sheds and fiddle, but they haven't got the skills to make, something as nice as you make, for instance. But a kit to introduce new people to modding, because it's very, you know yourself, it's so satisfying making a mod. It adds a whole new dimension to vaping. Definitely, it did for me anyway. And yourself now, look at you've always modded, but look what you're doing now,
Yeah.
We all remember the crap box. I mean, it was a
first Skonko, wasn't it? The first
innovation
ever, almost.
It was, yeah. Ahead of our time.
Right. We do have one new product announcement. James has a brand new thing to show us. So let's do that.
Oh yeah, look.
What is it, James?
Proper news, proper
regular actual content.
Yeah, this is one thing that came out this week. Well, it's been announced this week. This is from Infinity Mods. This is the Insider Mini. We should have some pictures
on screen now.
Beautiful. Okay, this is from Infinity Mods. It is it's a new tiny version of the Insider. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different from the regular Insider in as much as it's an 18350. But it's not just an 18350, because it's one of them ones where you can modulate it. It is a DNA 60. It is, how tall is it? I can't remember how tall it is. It's not very tall though. It's a bit bigger than an 18350 tall. We also get with it the 18350 tube. You get the 18500 and you get the 18650 tube. And the modular, and you apparently can screw I think it's going to be a 20/1 thread, and you're going to screw your own tubes in there if you'd like. It's a DNA 60. It is available on the Infinity Mods Facebook page from the end of November. It's going to be really limited. There's going to be like 20 of them. I haven't got a price at the minute, but that's me. I'm a big fan of Infinity Mods. I'm a big fan of Alessandro and his gear, and yeah, I thought I'd pop that in our notes, even though we haven't officially got notes this week because it's sports week, and yeah, that's me news this week. It's the
I think it looks really cool.
We have to say hi to Tom, who's just appeared.
Thomas.
Hey. There's a lot of people watching it and going, "Oh fuck me, Al Qaeda have kind of in the bottom there."
Medium.
Can you hold a really small machine gun?
Tom.
I want to see a really small machine gun. That's what I want.
Can you hear me okay, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you in the toilet, Tom?
No, I'm in the front room, but all I want to say is Scott Bonner's in here and he's my vaping man crush. I'm just letting you know that. Scott is the man crush.
Well, you've got to share him with us, Tom.
Before you do the big Tom thing, anyway, I'm gonna head off anyway.
So. Right, then. See you later, Craig.
Craig, good to see you.
Take care.
Congratulations on 200. I only made it to, what was it, 96, I think.
I know, we were trying to get you to drag you to 100. Go, not now, go to 100.
Yeah, he's kind of like, no, I'm done. So,
Love you,
have a good one anyway.
I'll speak to you in the morning, probably, anyway.
Yeah, I'll see you all in a bit. Anyway, goodbye, Rick. Bye, Rick.
Bye, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, will do. Throw you crazy kids. See you in a bit.
See you, mate.
No, Tom, you're off to Frankfurt in the morning, aren't you? Sometime.
Yeah, it's Hamburg, isn't it? Tomorrow. Hamburg. Yeah, it's but I've got to fly from Birmingham to Brussels, then Brussels to. We were doing 2 flights. because there
Fucking
wasn't
hell.
a direct flight.
So we were speaking earlier. Do they do good hamburgers in Hamburg? Like they do good Frankfurters in Frankfurt?
We were trying to work it out.
What we want to know.
I'll find it out for you. I'll probably.
It's only because Rick's going to McDonald's in May and he just wants to make sure.
Oh, I'm coming to Germany for Frankfurters and hamburgers.
Yeah, it's literally pretzels and sausages. That's about what we got offered in June.
What more do you need?
Are you a vaping show? Is it the vaping show this weekend?
Yeah, the whole of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, they had the whole of vape in Stuttgart earlier on in the year, and it was different.
Was it good?
Level. It was a vaping expo, or I would say it was the vibe of Vape Fest in an expo hall.
Oh wow!
It was amazing. The main thing that what really got me in my emotions is when they were throwing, because Germans enjoy spending money. They will spend money. They don't care for free shit. There was a stand there that was selling, was giving away. The whole stand was free, and all the Germans going, no thanks. They actually enjoy partying with cash. They support their community. They support vaping.
You say that, but I mean, they do as well. I mean, it depends if you've got the right crowd. When you've done Vape Fest, I've done Vape Fest. Scott's worked at Vape Fest. I've worked at Vape Fest, and the vapors who went to those events want to spend money. And at IBM this year, we made $2.5 grand for charity in under 6 hours.
It's crazy.
I know the ticket sales made at the bulk of that as well, which was in about half an hour.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was longer than that. Richard was running around like a
couple of hours. So.
A few hours, 2 or 3 hours. But it was incredible. People, I keep saying hour, but I'm not being exclusive. I'm saying that once you get above the free twats in vaping in the UK, they do want to spend money.
Yeah,
I enjoy watching the free twats and the muck spreading at the expo. It's quite funny to see them fighting each other over a 10ml bottle of juice.
It does happen. It
really does.
It's really does nice to watch from the sideline.
Are you up on the stage this time, Tom?
In Germany?
Yeah.
No, won't be up on the stage. We do go on the stage, obviously, at Expo, because they make us do our, obviously, silly stuff. Like, we've obviously had the guy run down the hall, down the full Expo Industries boxes. We've done the onions. We've done the nasty juice, sort of horrible juices. They always get on stage to do something daft to try bring sort of the fun back into it, because sometimes I feel like we lose the fun of it, like Fest. Fest was very much fun, community, having a giggle and enjoying vaping for what it is.
Did you go to the return, Tom?
The
Expo, the return?
Yeah, it's just gone.
Yeah. Tom was the only person I didn't actually see.
How was it for you? What were the numbers like and all that sort of stuff?
For me personally, numbers wise, factual wise, there was more than May, but I felt like May seemed busier.
Right.
Yeah.
But actually, from the stats, it states that there was 20,000 that actually went through the door. But they sent out a hell of a lot of free tickets.
Oh yeah, they did.
That's just sort of, for me. I didn't go to return because I feel like the fun's gone out of Expo and Jam. To be honest, now it's not.
I feel like we're to blame for that though.
Yeah.
Because we have that mindset of, well, I think it's shit, so I'm not going to go. So
I do.
it ourselves.
Yeah. But I'll be like, because I've always been a massive thing for saying don't comment. You know, if you're not going, don't comment. And if you didn't go, I don't care for your review. Fuck off. You're not allowed an opinion on it because you weren't there. So please shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not really talking about the actual event. I know Expo is like the best. It is easily the best event. But the social side of our little cliquey niche,
it's really difficult because it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's got smaller every year, and it's. I mean, when we went out in Birmingham or when we were there in May, it was less than a dozen of us there.
Yeah, I liked it.
Go 4 years back to Jam, and there's a pub full of people. You know, there's 100, 200 people you're getting to know, and it's shrunk.
But I feel
more
like
reflection on us, though, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is.
All right, Tom, don't join in, you fucking fuck.
But we are to blame. We are massively to blame because we're the only ones that can do any different. If we're not going to do any different, nobody else is going to do it, because we are seeing a massive insurgence in new vapors, and there's brand new faces going to shows. The older faces are. So then everyone goes, well, I'm not going because it's shit. Well, you're only saying it's shit because your pals aren't there.
Yeah. But it's just one of those inevitable things. We've been doing it the longest, so we're the first to get sick of it. You know. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
I like the
it's not a bad
social.
thing.
I've always been about the social for me. In the event, I could go to one of those weekends and not even go in the event. You know, I like to go in to see people like Tom and what they're touting and the new gear they've got. But it's really about meeting people and.
Because it's different for me, because I've never actually walked around a show.
Yeah.
I've only ever vended them, so I've never seen it as a consumer. So I've never had that sort of hype as going to a show.
I've always seen it as a consumer. I will say, I just want to give a quick nod to Mr. Bonner, because a lot of people don't know, but when Vape Fest went fucko this year, and it was Mr. Bonner took over as the spokesman. So when you were looking at the Vape Fest post, it was actually Scott writing the Vape Fest post. Well, the ones that made any sense was
just clarify that.
Yeah, I was clarifying that. Yeah. The ones that made any sense when it had gone wrong and it wasn't going to happen. There was a kind of a takeover, and it was Scott. And I remember talking to you at the time, Scott, and saying, and I was like, it was like somebody waving a bag of dog shit and going, "Who wants it?" And Scott went, "Oh, yeah, okay." And I was just like, "What the fuck? Let them fucking do it, man." And you really you took it, and and it only made sense when you did, and just said, "No, it's not going to happen," you know. This year. And it was so sad. Because basically, when you stopped doing it, I started really that kind of on the committee side of things.
Yeah, I mean, I was never really like officially on the committee.
No.
There to sort of.
I did 1 year, and I worked for it at 4, I think. Yeah.
Scott used to hide at Vape Fest. I used to be like, "Is Scott upstairs? Is Scott upstairs? Fucking hide!"
That was my highlight, because Scott was in the pavilion, but I was in the pavilion, so I didn't really care. So it's fine. I didn't give a fuck. I don't care if no one else has seen him. It's fine. He's upstairs. It was a really great moment once. I was standing down one of the far side of the field, the offside, where everyone was walking down, and they'd got all the stalls. And there was this like weird wave coming towards the where I was stood, of like this crowd kind of going backwards. I couldn't work it out. But just as a pure fluke, Bono was going around, and so was Mr. Toddlington at the same time. And it had caused this weird Mexican wave bubble of people going, "Oh my God, it's Scott! Oh, look at Mark!" And just like going to get around. It's really weird.
What's
nice.
cracking off with Endless Mods? Tom, what's the new? What's the latest?
Well, we've recently just purchased Asylum Mods.
Wow.
They made the Sherman. We purchased them earlier on in the year, so we're currently working on doing stuff with that. We are working on an MTL tank. There's a lot of stuff going on over this side. Sort of, Endless is sort of churning on as it always does, and obviously our focus is on Asylum, because obviously people are begging us to release the mount-along tank and to release the Sherman again. And we also are working on the Pandemonium, which has been worked on for the last fucking 2 years,
right,
which is a threadless mechanical mod, literally 0 threads.
What do you do, kind of, Tom? What do you do 9 to 5?
That's good.
Like,
Wholesale and social media.
that's what you do 9 to 5.
Yeah. Sat in this very chair.
So you're full speed ahead down there then, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just cracking on.
I watched. I did post it on the group. I didn't really get much of a feedback really, but there was a Canadian chap who was talking about our generation of the vaping thing, and especially when it comes to being self-employed or working in the industry. And one of the things was how much work goes into what you do. Like it doesn't finish. Like
especially
it never finishes. You know, you kind of go. I everything goes off for me at midnight. I switch everything off at midnight, and it goes back on at about 6, 6:30, something like that.
People don't realise it. Tom's been doing this even longer than me.
Oh
but
yeah, definitely. I used to watch Tom on YouTube.
I'm 5 years into Mod Maker, and you burn out from being plugged in constantly. I mean, you don't think you will, and I'm glad you're not yet, John. But a few years,
I'm a nightmare.
And it's just like, fucking hell, I've had enough of this. I'm switching off.
But
And
you can, but like, I don't even know how long I've known Tom. I think I've known Tom 5 years, something like that.
I'd say 5 or 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years I've talked to Tom.
You
I've
can't
been
go full
through
steam ahead for this many years. You just can't do it.
I enjoy my breaks, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely do, and I do switch off. I turn everything off sometimes. It's not that often, but it's
It can be draining, and it's because the reason it's draining is because it's a passion. When a passion becomes a job, it's very hard to separate it.
The scariest thing for me, and I know Scott's kids are about that age, and I know Rick's are too. Looking around, no, Richard's not there yet. But when I see, kids, when they go, kids are getting really messed up on social media. Like, no shit, fucking hell.
Parents are.
Well, I know fully grown adults who can't deal with it, and you have to tell people to switch off, come away. You're not separate. Because I do separate my life away from like social media. What you see on social media isn't, mate. Perhaps
that's what I tried to say to Damien at the time when he had that trouble on SV. Was this is a blessing in disguise, really, mate? Switch off for a bit.
Yeah.
A few people, Mark Todd's asked in chat. A few people have mentioned it as well. But I don't know how close to it you are now, Scott. But will there be a Vape Fest next year?
To be, in all honesty, mate, it's literally I don't have any sort of any part in it at all at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not even too sure who would have any part in it. Because it's so messed up with what sort of went on in the way that people sort of left and what have you. And some people took some parts of Vape Fest with them and left other bits, and it was just so all over the place. I can't see it happening, not with the original people that was doing it anyway. But it'd be nice.
It really did, because I was in the conversations about it until about 3 days before you announced, I think, Scott. When I was in the group.
I went out the same day, to be honest.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of, and it's
So we'd say unlikely. We'd say
very.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
I'd call it very.
And it was great while it happened, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it was a beautiful thing.
That'll be a shame because that was amazing.
I just can't see it. Not with the same people anyway.
I think the people that we enjoyed to see at Vape Fest towards the end there, I know the numbers dwindled quite dramatically at the end there.
It was a really
many more that didn't come to our ideal vape meet.
No.
What vendors wise?
The people, vendor. I mean, to be honest though, who the fuck cares about vendors at these
events? No, nobody.
Yeah,
but I think, but for us,
the people we didn't get at the ideal vape meet that were going to Fest last time, because I still think the last Fest was cracking.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
And the people we didn't get were the people that were entrenched in every week, once a year, every weekend they go to that location, to that thing, and people we don't know, they watch the show or whatever, but we don't know who just went to Vape Fest every year, and it was a routine, And
I think Shrewsbury would still be a place to go at the Vape Fest time of year for a lot of people, and it was people who booked to go for the following year, and it didn't happen. They still went. Did you go, Brad?
No,
they didn't.
There
was
about 4
Craig
people.
Nichols went. That was it. He was there by himself.
Yeah,
Craig was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Craig Nichols went.
Yeah.
We all said it. We all said, "Oh, it's all about the source." We'll just hang out outside the Premier Inn on the Friday night. It doesn't matter about Vape Fest when the time came and push came to shove.
To be fair, we were busy because we knew what we were doing, though, didn't we? Because we knew we were doing. We knew we'd got the ideal vape meet to do, and so it was different. Our excuse is that.
I'd go
I
to
could-
Shrewsbury for the weekend again. I mean, I like Shrewsbury.
Don't start it again, because they'll nobody turn up. It'll be you. You just be sat
I
there.
quite like it.
Yeah, I do like Shrewsbury. That's fine.
Yeah, Shrewsbury's amazing.
It was a shame because it was like a 3-1, but it was untenable. And when Scott said it's time to put the bullet in it this year, sorry, it really was. I mean, it was a month past putting the bullet in it.
Yeah.
You feel like we should just take the
Yeah, we
memories
got-
from it.
We have
Yeah,
to.
I think you've got to. I think you've got to, because
Yeah, we
anybody
have to
else who
look at
tried to.
good points from the past, don't we? I mean,
I don't think you can ever take that showground thing away.
no.
Anyway, I take fucking hell, 25 past. You gotta kind of
We do have a Travava.
Oh,
Should we slide into Travava?
have you seen Travava before, Scott?
Well, on the group. Is that
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is them all together, but you won't be able to
This
see
is
them.
Travava live.
But then Scott can't see them because we've all got them on a
but
file.
we'll describe them so well, unless you pull up YouTube, Scott.
Oh yeah, I can look at the YouTube thing.
So me and you, James, I guess, we'll
Alrighty then.
we'll work it out together. The first picture is of Johnny Depp with the word
Okay.
sausage.
This is sausage. Yes, this is the edited Dior ad for Savage for Savage. It's sausage. This is from Adam Metty. It's what we call a snide on the Facebook groups.
I love that someone's actually stuck a sausage
Yeah, on the top.
on that.
And yes, they've matched that font well and everything. That's from Adam Metty. Next one.
Ooh, we've got a gravestone,
Oh, this is
headstone.
Fuck you, John.
Grey.
You've seen this before.
This is from Bob. This is from the legend Bob. This is yes, it's a nephew, John. Based Triumph Batava.
That's in Highgate Cemetery up the road, yeah.
Oh wow.
Next one.
It looks like a Garmin walkie-talkie.
Oh yeah, this is from Bob again. It's like a little pod. It looks it's a
GPS, I think.
but it looks a lot like a little pod
What's that?
system.
I'm just looking at Scott's like, what the fuck?
My YouTube feed is about.
Yeah, that is. It is. The YouTube feed's way behind the real thing. Sorry. Man.
Excuse me.
Okay, I'll talk about the first one if you like, Scott. So the first one that was okay. Next one.
We're looking at a DJ blowing some fat clouds.
Oh, I flicked too fast. Oh, this no. This is from David Childs. It's a smoke machine. But he thought it might have been for vapors some woman under the stage.
Makes sense.
It reminded him of vaping, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So we put it on the show.
Don't question it. If it's reminded him of vaping, it deserves to be there.
Next one. Oh, this is really shit. This is from David Childs again. First one was all right. This one is rubbish.
It's a necklace.
Yeah, some sort of pendant thing. He thought it looked a bit like a pod-based system. I think that's what he was getting at there. But I don't. David Childs. David Childs. No more. Next one.
This is a necklace. Really.
Yes, this is James Hall. This reminded him of the Infinium.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
That
okay.
was.
Yeah, because it's the infinity symbol. Basically, Herbie just does the infinity symbol, and then obviously you get there in other things. And
The endless logo is a bit like that.
yeah,
Here it is.
This looks like a mech mod, but I don't know what it really is.
okay. This is from James Story. This is I don't know what it is. Let's have a little closer look there.
Is it a car part?
Yeah, it could be. It could be something like that.
I've seen that before as a silencer for a rifle. I don't know what the fuck they've got it doing in the bonnet of a car.
I suppose it's quite a generic shape.
The
That's
bellows
the
in there are
logo,
definitely
isn't
for
it?
silencing. So
I don't know what it really is, but it looks a bit like a mech mod with
Yeah,
a
spot on.
drip tip on there, and that's from that's Jim's Story. That was from
Yeah,
James
James
one.
This is just a really hot thing.
Oh, it is. But it looks like a drip tip. Look at how drip tippy that is. That's super drip tippy.
It does look like a top air feed pod thing.
I'm not putting my lips on that.
Oh, Bernie.
That's what you said to me at Expo.
That's what she said. Who sent that one, Jay?
That was from Mike Davies.
Not bad. Oh, it's the Inniken iTaste 134.
Yes.
Yeah. This is from Scotty Bogfoot. Scotty
We love you,
Bigfoot.
Scott.
Bigfoot. Yeah, I don't know what it really is. I think it might be from a telly program on a reality show. But he
There's
saw it.
even
and
a-
He said it. I think he said it was a laser.
There's even a Coilmaster set of clippers and a spool of Atty wire as well.
I think in the show it was a laser.
Wow.
That's what he said.
Cool.
It's got an arm.
34, isn't it? Do you remember that?
Oh, we're looking at a bottle of aftershave.
What's that, Scott?
Oh, I'm on that one that you said was a laser now, and that, I can't remember if you said it or not, but it looks like the Inakin
Yes.
134.
I think that's what it
that was
is, really.
That's iconic looking mod. That is. Although it wasn't great, was it?
No, it was shit.
We're now looking at Mark Todd's aftershave.
Absolutely. This is a Todd Travava, a Tita Travava.
What the fuck actually is it? I know it's kind of.
Yeah.
It's
What
I
does
think
it
what
do?
it is it's a travel atomizer for your aftershave or your perfume, whatever.
Yeah,
Well, like, you put it in and then
You
it
put a
makes
bit
the
of your
rooms.
real aftershave in there, and then
and
take
then
it
you
with
take it on your holidays
Oh, and then you can just like on the go. Put
in your handbag or man bag, and then
I used to make them.
James, you know about how though.
suppository.
So you decant your aftershave and take it away with you. Is that what it's
It'll
for?
make
I
it
think
quick
that's a
smell
general
nice.
gist. This was actually a gift. This was a gift, and on the gift he was kind of giving to some boy. Oh, have some of that. Oh, like that.
You never know. Yeah. Well, you could just yeah.
The words la-di-da come to fucking mind when I see that.
That's aftershave if you're going away for the weekend. You just don't bother taking your aftershave, do you?
And that
But it does
is-
look a lot like one of those ego
Oh
jobs.
yeah, it does. Yeah, big time.
Nice. And that was it. We got a short Travava this week. That's the last one.
That's Travava.
That was things that remind you of vaping, but that aren't.
That
really-
remind you of vaping, but they aren't really vaping at all.
Yeah.
There's
Haven't
no
had
reason
the-
to brought the intro back.
Long time. So thanks for watching. Oh no, we're not done. We've got all the stuff on. Tell them the stuff.
What stuff?
The stuff. We've got some really.
Have you got a mod showcase, right?
Huh?
Don't whistle and then-
I just
Oh,
whistle
that-
live just to give people a little reminder,
the
really.
big vape teas.
That made my heart race. Got me all excited.
Well, let's just make sure there's nothing that chat need us to talk about.
Oh, you're gonna flick back to chat.
Yeah, chuck out some questions, are we? Go on then.
Just 5 minutes. Just make sure there's nothing that
Round
chat
table
need-
questions.
nothing that we've missed from the vaping world that chat need us to do. Questions for Medium Tom or Scott Bonner.
How much weight have you lost so far, Tom? It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
what's
You're
going
looking
on?
healthy, man. You're looking quite buff, Tom.
The total is just shy of 7 now.
Shit.
You beauty, mate.
That's a whole small person.
I still remember giving you a big cuddle
I'm
at
proud
Expo.
of you.
I was talking to Tom at Expo when he first started this whole journey, just after you'd been to the hospital, and you said, and he said, oh, I can't do it. I just thought I like coke that much, and I was like, Tom, seriously, you're gonna fucking die. And then you went, yeah, but, and then you just nailed it, man.
This might sound a weird question, but are you into it? Are you enjoying it, or is it a grind?
No, it's both. It can be both, especially with the
You must,
eating side.
to
of
lose
things.
that much, you must be kind of into it a bit. You must.
Well, I am, yeah. Let's just say my missus is not happy about me on running shoes. Let's just put that out there. But no, I do enjoy it. But it's a graft. The food is the thing for me. I eat more than I ever eaten when I was a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I eat
I remember-
so much more food.
I remember saying to you, it was the thing that I mean, not nowhere near what you've lost, but I lost 3 stone about near 10 years ago now, and the thing that I really like saying to people when they've lost weight is go, it's fucking cold, isn't it? and they go, it's fucking freezing everywhere. Yeah, they don't tell you that. No one warned you. It's fucking freezing all the time. Like, shit, it's cold.
Tom, is that? I heard you say 7. Is that stone or pounds?
Stone.
Oh, fucking
Stone.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
Oh,
basically
you
lost
should be
my
proud of
daughter.
yourself, Tom. You turned your life around, mate. And I'm fucking pleased you have. Well done.
I want to lose 2 more stone, and then I want to put 2 more stone on in
Buff.
muscle. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
No
it.
one's actually managed to put a question. Have we got a question yet? Oh, I've got one. What about those favourite moments? That's not a question. That's right. John Malcolm, can you wank yourself thin? You can. Look at him. 7 stone.
Look at these fuckers.
If you notice, his right arm is
Just the one.
10 times
Just
bigger
the
than his
right
left
arm.
arm. Yeah, you can.
He's ripped in that right arm.
Any new products coming from ModMaker,
Yeah.
Rick?
What's going on at ModMaker, Rick?
Bits and bobs for modding. Nothing that will set the vaping world alight, but
Oh yeah, but let's hear it. Fucking hell.
no, I can't. There's one thing.
Or
there's one-
hint. You can hint. You can go.
I can't hint. I can't hint because
Okay.
I don't want anyone to know.
Well, remind everyone about ATWire then.
Actually, wire it's still there. I've still got every type of wire, and it's still almost as some of it's cheaper than crazy wire, and it's all
Fucking hell, and crazy wise
the
shit.
sizes, flat wire sizes, fused Claptons, nichrome, Campfall, stainless, all of the wires in different lengths and different gauges.
So much cheaper than all the Primo coils that have got really fashionable.
Definitely, that's the main seller is the fused Clapton wire because a lot of the companies call fused Clapton wire alien wire.
Mm.
So I had to say no, I don't want that. I want that, and label it like this. It's Clapton wire. You've got it wrong.
Yeah. And that's at atiwire.com, isn't it?
Yes, and ModMaker, of course. So-
Obviously, ModMaker.
and it sells quite well. And Gary Dibley's stocking it as well, actually.
Yeah. Awesome.
No, there's things happening, but I can't. I'm trying to innovate, but it's, to be honest, modding. It's the parts are as good as they can be. Mainly.
Rick, I will say you change the way people do stuff, whether you take it or not.
Well, I mean, I've tried my best. I'm doing my best. I'm still doing my best.
Look at
It
people
might-
like Scott. I mean, to be fair, when we live in a country where you can buy parts from that bearded fucker over there, and you invented some of them. It's insane. It's an amazing thing to do.
Well,
You always
I
do
try to
yourself a
improve.
disservice.
I've always with ModMaker wanted to make what I would want to use.
Yeah, I just think there's so many people who owe you.
No one knows. Anything. I've made a living for 5 years doing ModMaker.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I already do.
I've enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, it's been a privilege that I've had the backing to be able to have the funding to make new stuff. It's just a shame modding's slowing down so much now.
I like the fact we ask people to ask questions. Paul has come up with, if you wanked while on a scale, you'd see. Thanks, Paula. Cheers for that.
Paula.
I might take a
We love
screenshot
you,
of
Paula.
that.
Filthy little bint.
I know. I'm doing it at 11 o'clock.
I'm not gonna read it out, but Matt Waits has dispelled that myth anyway, quite clearly in chat.
I see why you don't want to read that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good.
Because
Okay, cool. Is there any other business before we do
I've
our
got another
final...
Colin Albans, will Brad ever make mods again?
Brad?
And that's the second, and the question immediately afterwards. Christopher Morrow, as the owner of Two Phobics, will Brad start up again?
It's all a fucking pipe dream. I'd love to, but
We have got the wank stats for after Brad's finished.
I'm gonna say it's a safe bet. No.
Okay, and the wank stats, you can lose 5 to 6 calories for every wank.
That's a lot just for a Mars bar, isn't it?
Dominic Dom says, are you working on the next Ideal Ohm meet yet?
No, we're not, Dom. No, we're not yet.
Not yet. Yet.
But that doesn't mean don't read anything into that. But absolutely fucking not. Yeah.
Until
We're
someone else
waiting for a
promises
big
to sell the
sponsor like
tickets,
Endless Mods to
he's
come on
not.
board.
Then
Yeah.
ask. Oh, you got communicate.
So if we did it again, do you reckon you'd be there, Tom?
I don't see why not.
Look at that. First booking, if we ever bothered.
See why not?
we don't know. We don't. Yeah, it's way too.
Come on, I want to
early.
get more stuck into it for the next year. I want to. Come on, we're going to do it. We're going to. Even if I've got to organise the whole thing, fuck you.
I was waiting for Rick to do
It sounds
that.
like it's happening, Dom, but we haven't started.
Oh, there you
talking
go.
about
This
it
is
yet.
all right. We'll do a round table. I've got one. I'll do it from my screen.
And it better be a quick one.
It's a quick one and it's a good one. Okay, Richard, what is the most annoying thing about vaping that you wish there was a gadget for?
Oh, tell me and I'll make it.
I want right. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell
That's
you
a
what it
good
is.
one. I
I'll
like
tell you
that
what it is.
question. It's good.
I'll tell you what it is.
Good man, Adam.
I really like these massive build mats. That I've got one on my desk. You know, it's like a huge mouse pad, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? But they just literally, you drop a tiny bit of juice on them, and they just go.
I've got one here.
And
Yeah, I like
the juice just lives in the mat forever.
That's all right. Wash it once a year. It's all right.
Bang mine in the washing machine.
Really? Does it
Yeah.
keep it? So I just want one. I want one where the juice sits on top and I can swipe the juice away.
Oh,
So you want a hydrophobic
just get a plastic
juice
blooming
mat.
cutting mat then.
I want it to feel. I want it to feel lovely, but be almost
Get
waterproof.
polyester.
Bonner's got it right. Just spray it with
Bonner's got it.
Scotch
Just
Guard.
spray it with Right Guard. Oh, Scots Guard. Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
want. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. So I want a pre-Scotch guarded vape mat. That's the exact
There you go,
dimensions of my
pre-Scotch
desk.
guard.
You've nailed it. I think you've got Toddlington's new product. Just call it Scotch Guard.
Scotch guard.
Yeah, I'm for it. James, what would be the one gadget you would like in vaping that would fix the problem?
Is there a John Martin gag? Can Rick get on that? Something that
5'10".
you just turn them on and off. Mainly off.
You, to be fair, James, you always turn me on.
That's me genuine answer.
Rick, if there was a gadget in vaping, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I think
You do know, Rick, but you won't tell us about it because it's all under wraps. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not a big mainstream vaping thing. It's a little modding part I'm making.
So you said about the 510s and the squishy bottles.
What I'd like in vaping, no, that isn't in vaping or in technology at all. I would like a longer, a much higher mile battery that can deliver.
Oh yeah.
Get the new
18500 size.
Get the Walter ones that they're working on that are going to double the life of a battery.
Yeah.
In the future. So 18.6, fuck 21 650s and 700s or whatever. All of those 18.650s that have got 6,000 mAh.
Yeah, 100 amp.
And they can chuck out 30, 40 amps or 30 amps would be enough.
Perfect. Brad.
I'm on the same boat as Rick, but
You can't be on the boat because there's only one boat. So what do you want?
I want either a solid state battery or a lithium carbon dioxide.
If Bonus
battery.
is the same thing,
Yeah.
Smash my fucking laptop.
I am. It's my idea. I've been sitting here racking my brains trying to think of something. Oh, yeah, battery life. He comes along and pinches it. I can't really think of anything else. That's probably like my only sort of frustration with vaping is like having to change batteries. You know, with the 21 700s, it's not so bad. But if you have the 18 650s, I'll just go through them.
You could do it the complete opposite way. You could do a coil that at 15 watts vaped like 60 watts.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, you can sort of emulate that by upping your nick and like John does.
fuck that.
Vapes at 11 watts and has 50 mil. 50
No,
mil
because I want clouds.
Yeah, the thing is that thing. If we have now got to the point where you can dial in exactly what you want, and what I want is to use 2 mil of liquid a day, so I use 2 mil.
I'd like an 18350 that's 3,000 mAh. That'd do.
Yeah.
Tom, what are you having? I will say, just quick one from a viewer. Viv said, I'd like air freshener or something which you spray around the room and it stops VG settling
that
on
would be
things.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Car
Oh,
windshield.
windows.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And Toddlington said, "Kill screw-in battery caps on mods, please. Fat-fingered people across the world demand it."
He's almost divulged my.
Don't fuck. Why are you all making it worse, Brad? No, not Brad.
It's
Tom.
only in here. No one's going to watch. No one watches the show anyway.
No, not anymore.
Toddlington,
Tom.
I'm on it, man.
Tom,
I'd like to get an excitement switch where we could all go back to when we first started vaping
Yeah.
again.
Oh.
Oh, that's really
It's been a
sweet.
great, I don't know, what, 6-7 years for me.
I wouldn't mind that as long as I didn't have to use the same equipment I used.
Because there wasn't anything, was there? There
Could you
wasn't
imagine quitting now, quitting smoking? I mean, fucking hell, we went through it. To quit
Easy as
smoking,
fuck.
you had to really try. Now you don't have
I had to
bother.
drill holes in metal boxes to quit smoking.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I remember getting I had to go and buy a cordless drill to put the airflow into.
Yeah, but that is why so many of our vaping generation are into it this much.
Yeah, that's true. True. Because we
if you could go to a petrol station and get an amazing vape, you'd have never gone on that forum to find out how to do it. You know.
I won't have any friends at all.
I remember thinking I was the only person in my town to vape, and I probably almost was. That's why
I think I was. Yeah, I think I was.
You know, you knew there were people. There was like one Atty a month might have come out. Not even that back then.
Oh, I've got my gadget. My gadget is this mesh that never ever gives hotspots. Boom. Everyone can use it for Jenny's.
Scott would be fucked.
But mesh doesn't. My mesh is only the wicking material.
Yeah, but you got to wind a coil on it. I do know. I did it for like 4 years.
I always wound the coil first. But there you go.
No, that's because you're wrong.
No, I was. No, fuck off. I knew how to whip up a Jenny.
It depends. You can't.
I did have
do
good
that.
success doing it that way as well.
You can't do that on something like a next gen. You can't do it.
I had it fucking styled in with my.
But you can't do the thing. First.
My RSST was my go-to.
Oh fucking hell! He does a joke and then I want the switch that James wanted. I don't want to be annoyed to myself.
Right. Do we need to do a serious ending?
Yeah, I think you do.
Take it away, Richard.
Right, I'm so sorry because Tom and Scott don't know what the ending of the show is. I'm so sorry, Richard.
Well. Is it? Do you guys want to jump off? Have you?
Yeah. Oh, before we go, I want to give one request for a go. Who?
You got it. Both of you have. You and Scott have got anything you want from us.
Go on.
Scott.
Yes.
Before we go, will you blow a hoop?
I thought you were going to say you want to hear. Hello, my name's Scott.
I thought he was going to ask for a blowy. I thought that's
the best thing Scott's ever said.
Man, perfect.
Do you want to know what the best thing Scott's ever said? Best thing Scott's ever said in a review was, "This juice is called pina colada and it tastes like pina colada."
My favourite bit was the bit about the direct to lung when you were talking about. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had one setting for direct to lung, and you went, "It's direct to lung. Who gives a fuck?" So if it's open enough to be direct to lung, it's open enough to be direct to lung. Who gives a fuck? I love that.
Right, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for coming on, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers, Tom.
Richard has kicked you off.
Congratulations.
Lovely
Yeah,
bastards.
you have to jump off yourselves. I can't.
Yeah, you're going to have to disclose yourself.
Cheers,
Well,
guys.
oh, dear.
I'll leave this now. I'll leave meeting.
Stay. Go on. Now we got rid of Tom. You can stay.
Yeah, that's got.
Cheers, Scott. Cheers, Scott. See you later.
See you, Scott.
Right.
This feels really weird.
Yeah, no, it seems like a bit of an Inquisition type thing. Right, okay, so we do have a big end of show announcement. It is episode 200, and we have kind of joked about it being like the second to last show last week, and 10 shows to go at 190, and all that sort of thing. And it was, what really was a joke. We're just messing. But from next week, there is actually going to be big changes to the show. This literally is going to be the last Ideal Ohm Show, technically speaking. Episode 200 will be the last Ideal Ohm Show. From next week, 9 PM on Thursday, we will be over on my channel, the Vaping V1CK channel, that's cottoned on, and it will be the new Ohm Show. Episode number 1 of the new Ohm Show will be next week at 9 PM on Thursday, and it's going to be it's a chance for a fresh start. It's going to be a new format. Every week it will be me and John. Me and John will be on every week, guaranteed. Obviously, I'll be on it. It's my channel, but John will be a co-host every week, and not a lot is changing. Not a huge amount is changing, but we're doing a fresh format, fresh style. James is going to be a regular guest, a regular contributor, regular-ish panelist. Brad is going to be a very regular panelist as well, and we're going to have a plethora of.
And me.
Rick is going to be fair.
Yeah, you're going to be a regular guest.
You weren't even going to mention me there.
I was about to mention you in the second. I was about to mention you in the second tier of people. So what we want to do is we want to have 2 people all the time, and we want to keep it fresh by having different people every week. So we're having me and John every week, and 2 other different people every week. We've already got next week sorted. 2 big names in vaping. The week after that, we're hoping to get some of these guys on to keep it as we were, etc., etc. So it's going to be exactly as it was, but brand new. New features, new format, new place. It's going to be episode number 1 of the new Ohm Show, and yeah, we're going to try and bring it back to vaping a little bit, revamp it a bit, freshen it up a bit. A little chance for a fresh start, and get more people involved. We sort of got into a lull of just enjoying us guys being on every week, and it's a chance for a fresh start. So the new Ohm Show from next week, and in terms of the Facebook group, nothing's changing at all. It's going to be the same brilliant Facebook group as always. Richard Russian in chat. Same shit, different stink. 100% correct. Very much the case. So we're going to have regular guests, regular panelists, regular hosts, all the time. We're going to have 8 or 9 people. I'm sure you can guess who they are, that are on a very regular basis. But every week we're going to try and have new guests, people from the industry, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so we'll keep you posted. Any questions and stuff, we'll put in the group, and we'll tell you all about it in the group. But from next week, the new Ohm Show on my channel, number 1, will be starting.
I will say, so when you see the group name change on your notifications, you will understand if you're watching right now.
Yeah,
you're going to understand, and the banner change and stuff like that. But apart from that, it's going to.
But we don't want anything in the Facebook group to change, really.
Yeah. Just
Facebook group is brilliant.
Facebook group's great, man. Nothing needs to change.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say just a little quick, because we've kind of thanked every guest that's been on, but I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being so kind to us in the last 4 years. Me and Rick are the only 2 people who kind of are on right now who've done the whole, have been on through different times in the last 4 years. It's been incredibly humbling to do 4 years for you,
and incredibly positive as well.
Yeah. We've had some brilliant stories from people who've watched the show, and we've had some absolutely fantastic times every time we've been to a meet and like people and met people. And we met, like, I did already know James, but met Brad through the show, met Richard through the show, and I met so many of you at so many different events. So, and thank you so much for watching what was the Ideal Ohm Show for 200 shows. I think it's pretty incredible to get through 200 shows.
Yeah, it's from the outside in, it probably seems quite a strange thing to do, but from the inside out, we want an excuse to completely revamp the format. We didn't think that was fair to suddenly do it on here we wanted a chance for the same people, but a fresh start, you know. So yeah, so that's the plan.
Yeah. So he's just put the link in chat, has Vaping Vic. So if you're not a subscriber to Vaping V1CK, go over right now and subscribe to Vaping V1CK. Otherwise, you might miss next week's show.
But we'll put a link to the show in the group and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. As I say,
and
the group name will change.
And
probably
these guys will be on all
yeah.
the time and stuff. There's, you know, all that sort of good stuff. So that's that though. I think that's the show though.
See, I think you've shot them all. I even shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, which has never been done.
So yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for watching for 4 years.
God, go and get a life on a Thursday, for Christ's sake.
No, don't do that. Watch.
Don't do
the new
that.
Ohm
Go
Show.
watch the new Ohm Show. It's the
Yeah,
latest
do.
thing.
So we'll see there next week, and thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Say
Bye.
bye, everyone.
Everybody, we love you all.
Bye.